Well, hello and welcome to Woolly Hats Wednesday Whips, because it is Wednesday and I do apologise for not being with you last Wednesday, but Mr W and I were having a bit of a half-term break in Welshpool, and by the time I realised that Wednesday had gone and I've gotten to do Wednesday Whip, it was like Thursday or Friday, so I hope you had a good break not having me around. Anyway, lots of grim news around at the moment. I find the best way to deal with grim news is to do some crafting. You might sound as though that would be obvious for me, but I think keeping occupied is quite a good way of keeping your mind off what we can't control and what we can't do anything about, but just hope that something will happen. Anyway, what have I've got lots to show you this week, obviously, because I didn't do one last week, so I've got lots of things to show you. So I think last time I showed you that I was starting a new jumper with Rowan Felted Tweed, and here we go. So we've done lots of it and it's a top down, so although that looks like a big set of knickers, actually that's the top down like that. There we go. So nice little bit of pattern down the front there, or the back there, and started with the epaulets at the top and did pick up and knit and work the way down, so that I'm working around the back and the front, which is fine, and I'm trolling on quite nicely. And then I realised that on the the cable pattern, I'd lost a stitch, and it was quite a few rows down. So what I've done is I've just undone the 5 stitches. It's very difficult to see. There we go. So I've undone those bits there, and what I'm doing is I'm using a cable needle and a normal needle to knit those back up again with 5 stitches instead of 4. So hopefully that is quicker than unravelling it all and doing all those rows, because there's quite a few rows there, aren't there? So it happens to the best of us. So the moral of that story is always count your pattern. It's not a big pattern, but it did make a difference. Anyway, so that's me paying too much attention to what's on the telly and not enough on what I'm knitting. So that's my big project, my big knitting project at the moment. But I've also been doing some crochet, and I think I showed you something. I think it was something like that, which is from the Beachcomber blanket, which I was doing to help one of my clients in the crochet classes make sure she got the right stitches, because there's quite a few interesting ones there, using raised trebles and bobbles, and there's one that has something called pineapple stitches and things. So there's another one there. I like that one, but then I like orange. This appeals to me because in my younger days I used to do fossil hunting, so that's one with a fossil in the front, and that's using a spiral method. I don't know whether you remember last year I did a spiral granny square, so that's quite good to revisit that. This one's called sea glass. So again, this one has she calls pineapple stitches up here. So my client got me into this, and I think I might end up doing the whole jumper. I was just doing some squares to show what to do. So they're quite nice to do because you can do one in an evening, and for me it's not too taxing because I know all the stitches. But it's quite a nice thing to do, to pick that up. I don't have to do it all the time. So that's the Beachcomber blanket by Coastal Crochet. Other things I've been doing, well, I've got mosaic crochet workshop in the 19th of March, so I've been doing examples of mosaic crochet. There you go. Now, some of you might know I've been looking at my stash, and I found a stash of yarn at our house in Welshpool, so I've been using this. This is Starcraft Special DK. I'm just using it to show examples of what mosaic crochet looks like, which I think is quite effective. So that's a double knit yarn, so that's quite nice. That'll make a nice cushion cover. So that's that. And what else have I been doing? Well, I have been preparing for sock school, which starts tomorrow. Yes, sock school. And so I've been looking at my stash of socks and things like that. So here's some of the yarn that will be. I tend to use West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply because it's nice. They have some really nice colours, but also it's Blue Faced Leicester yarn, So if you're using socks, you do need something with nylon in to make them hard wearing. There are some sock yarn advertised that doesn't have nylon in it, but this is Blue Faced Leicester and nylon, 25% nylon. And that is a nice soft British yarn and some really fab colours, so I quite like using those. You can get lots of other sock yarn that just says wool, which is perfectly okay. If you want to go up a notch, then there's things that have merino in. Now merino is the qualities of merino are known by those who do a lot of hill walking things, because they wear merino base layer. So merino is very good at wicking away sweat and it doesn't smell. However, I found that the Blue Faced Leicester has similar qualities and it's a little bit cheaper. Not that I'm a skin print, but you know, sometimes socks you think, well, they're going to be on your feet, so why spend a whole lot of things? Because it's nice and it's good fun. Anyway, so sock school starts tomorrow, so that's very exciting. And when I'm doing sock school, I try and do some socks of my own. And as I told you before, I'm doing a bit of a stash audit. And I looked in my sock. I have a little box full of sock yarn, which is a bit full at the moment. So I feel that with sock school, what I do is knit socks along so that people can see what I'm doing. So I thought, what shall I do? So I've got some interesting yarns here. So this one is by Mothy and the Squid, which I got in Glasgow School of Yarn Festival last October. And this one's called Conker, I think. Horse Chestnut. Well, horse chestnut is Conker. I just thought the colours in that were absolutely yummy. And also by Mothy and the Squid, I've got this one, which is called Pomegranate. That's rather... I told you I liked orange. So this is rather yummy, isn't it? And then I thought, well, perhaps I ought to knit this. So this is from Ripple Crafts Yarn, and I visited this last September while I was on holiday in Scotland. And it's a lovely little a business based on the very northwest coast of Scotland, north of Ullapool. So it's a long way away, but we were up there anyway. And this is, she does all the hand-dyed stuff. So this is sock yarn, and it's called Ascent Storms. So yes, we did see all those colours while we were up there. And it's merino and nylon. So that's a superb, that's, you see, nice socking. So, and that's variegated one. So so that'll be fun. Just to remind people, so this yarn, you can see it's got clear definition, that will create stripes. This one, which is a bit more of a heat people, that will create something like a Fair Isle effect on your sock. It's all very clever, I have to say. There we go. And then there's stuff that's called variegated, which is tends to be a random colour. So that will be a variegated because it's little different shades of orange. And I think this might be variegated as well, because that's not a set stripy pattern. But I'll show you when it comes out. So I'm deciding which one's in it there. Yes, so I'm busy, as I said, doing my stash audit, and I've taken lots of photographs, and Mr. W said, what are you going to do with all those photographs? So I've dutifully put the details on Ravelry and put my thing there, so if anybody wants to be friends with me on Ravelry, they can look at my stash. It's been interesting exercises because a lot of it is stuff like this, which I've got on holiday, so it's good memories of where I've been. So I've got Icelandic yarn and Shetland and Argentinian and Norwegian, and this one's from Scotland as well. So it's nice as memories of holidays. Usually I don't buy yarn unless I've got a specific project, but sometimes when you're away, I tend to buy more in case because you can't go back and get some more, so I tend to buy a lot more. So that's quite nice. And then there's other stuff which is left over from projects that I've got. And then other stash is stuff I've inherited from friends or relatives, or my mother who died, my mother-in-law, both of who did lots of crafting and stuff. So I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to keep some of that or give it away. And then there's stuff that I can't even remember buying or getting from. For example, this. So this is, I think it's made in Turkey, and it's interesting colours, but I think it's a cotton microfiber acrylic. It's acrylic. There you go, plastic. So so there are a few balls of this, not many where I can't remember where I got it from, but a few. So I might be giving some of my yarn away, so do watch my Facebook site and my Instagram site, and you might be able to get some free stash. But we'll see. So when I've done my audit, then I'll be looking at getting rid of some stuff, perhaps donating it. I used to do some work with an old people's home, which I haven't been to, obviously, with COVID for a while, so they might like some. But yes, it's quite interesting. So I keep thinking, well, what can I get rid of? And I keep looking at it. I want to keep that, but I'm going to have to be firm. Anyway, if you've got any tips on how to be firm, that would be really good. So there you go. So I've got my jumper, my crochet, socks, and mosaic crochet. So I'm quite a busy little bee, which is not bad because it's horrible weather today. So it's just the kind of day to be doing a bit of crafting and ignoring everything else that's going on around the world, or even in the local area, and then to get some calm and knit or crochet and be mindful. So that's all from me this week. I hope you are having a good week and doing some interesting projects as usual. If you have any you'd like to share, then please do. And I will see you next week. That's all. Bye.